The first thing she whispered before we walked into that restaurant was, "Just apologize and keep it short." She didn't look at me when she said it. She adjusted her earrings instead, like the conversation was procedural, like my dignity was a minor detail in an evening she had already choreographed. I asked her what exactly I was apologizing for. She smiled in a way that felt rehearsed and said, "For making things uncomfortable last time." Last time. The memory surfaced instantly. Her best friend's anniversary dinner. A joke that landed badly. An awkward silence. But awkwardness doesn't require public penance. Still, she insisted it would smooth things over. "It's important," she said. Important to whom? The restaurant was loud, but not chaotic. Soft lighting. White tablecloths. Polished glasses aligned like disciplined soldiers. 3 couples already seated when we arrived. Her best friend Mia and her husband Aaron. Her older sister Carla and her husband Victor. And Daniel and Elise. Longtime friends of theirs whose marriage had always felt slightly tense beneath the surface. I noticed something immediately. All 3 women seemed overly alert. Their posture too upright. Their smiles too tight. The men avoided eye contact with me longer than usual. Something had already been discussed, and I wasn't part of it. Halfway through appetizers, Mia raised her glass and said she wanted to clear the air. My girlfriend squeezed my knee under the table. Her signal. Now, I stood. Every instinct in my body resisted. I could have refused. I could have deflected, but I chose compliance. I said I was sorry if my comment last month created discomfort. I said it was never my intention to question anyone's integrity. That word. Integrity. Victor's jaw tightened. Daniel shifted in his seat. Aaron stared at his plate. My girlfriend exhaled softly, like a script was unfolding correctly. Then Aaron did something no one anticipated. He asked, "Question whose integrity exactly?" The table went still. I realized then that my apology had not been about a joke. It had been about an implication. Last month, in an offhand remark, I had joked that Aaron must have excellent accounting skills to afford his new investment property. Everyone laughed at the time, except Mia. Now I understood why. Daniel leaned forward and said, "Yeah, what were you implying?" The tone had shifted, not defensive, threatened. I looked at my girlfriend. She looked at Mia. There it was. Unspoken alliance. In that moment, I understood the trap. They wanted me to apologize broadly, to bury a suspicion without addressing it. But something in Aaron's face told me he didn't want burial. He wanted light. So I answered honestly. I said, I wasn't implying anything specific. A pause. Then I added, but if something's being hidden, maybe we should stop pretending we're confused. Silence fractured into fragments. Elise's fork clattered against her plate. Victor asked what that meant. Daniel's voice sharpened. My girlfriend whispered my name in warning. And then Aaron laughed. Not amused. Relieved. He said he had been auditing internal transfers at his firm. He said certain side investments were being routed through shared contacts. He said he suspected his business partner was using mutual friends to move money. He looked directly at Daniel. Daniel went pale. Victor interjected that this was inappropriate for dinner. Carla told him to let Aaron speak. The alliances began to rearrange themselves in real time. Aaron revealed that a portion of the down payment for his property had come through Daniel's consulting network. Elise turned to her husband slowly. Daniel said it was standard procedure. Aaron said it wasn't disclosed. Victor suddenly admitted he had also advised on certain transfers. Carla's face drained of color. Mia looked at my girlfriend like this was spiraling beyond intention. Because it was. My apology had been meant to close a door. Instead, it opened a ledger. One sentence later, suspicion became confrontation. Confrontation became revelation. Elise stood first. She asked Daniel if any of this involved personal liability. He didn't answer directly. That was answer enough. Victor tried to frame it as business miscommunication. Carla asked him why she'd never heard about it. He said he didn't want to worry her. She said that wasn't protection. That was exclusion. Mia looked at Aaron with something between betrayal and clarity. She asked him if he had suspected for months. He nodded. She asked why he didn't tell her. He said he needed proof. Proof requires silence. Silence breeds distance. Distance corrodes trust. And suddenly 3 marriages were no longer dining. They were auditing themselves. My girlfriend leaned toward me and whispered, "You went too far." But I hadn't accused anyone. I had simply refused to carry a vague apology that protected secrets I didn't own. Would you have swallowed it to keep the peace? Or would you have risked exposing something that wasn't fully yours to expose? The check arrived untouched. Elise left before dessert. Carla followed shortly after. Mia stayed seated, but no longer looked at Aaron. Daniel remained rigid. Victor stared at his phone, and my girlfriend looked at me like I had detonated something sacred. On the drive home, she accused me of embarrassing her. I told her embarrassment is often a symptom of hidden fractures. She said I lacked discretion. I said discretion without transparency becomes complicity. We didn't speak the rest of the night. Over the following weeks, consequences unfolded methodically. Aaron initiated a formal review within his firm. Daniel was temporarily suspended pending investigation. Victor's advisory role came under scrutiny. Elise requested financial disclosures from her husband. Carla moved into her sister's guest room for space. Mia began attending counseling with Aaron, not because of infidelity, because of secrecy. My girlfriend distanced herself from Mia quietly. Their conversations became cautious, because the dinner had revealed something else. The women had known pieces, not full truths, but enough to suspect. They had wanted my apology to reset tension without triggering accountability. But accountability doesn't dissolve on command. It intensifies when cornered. 3 months later, Daniel's suspension became termination. No criminal charges, but internal violations were confirmed. Victor resigned preemptively. Elise filed for separation, citing financial dishonesty. Carla did the same. Mia stayed, but not unchanged. Her marriage entered a structured rebuilding process. Mine did not survive as cleanly. My girlfriend told me she needed someone who understood social nuance. What she meant was someone who prioritized harmony over exposure. I told her I needed someone who didn't script my apologies to protect networks I didn't build. We ended it without shouting, just exhaustion. 6 months after that dinner, I ran into Aaron alone. He thanked me, not for accusing, for refusing ambiguity. He said he might have continued rationalizing if I had apologized and buried it. He said discomfort forced clarity. Clarity forced choice. Choice forced consequence. And consequence forced growth. Growth rarely feels polite. I sometimes replay that moment when she squeezed my knee, the silent instruction, the expectation of obedience disguised as partnership. Would silence have saved anything, or only prolonged collapse? 3 marriages fractured that night, but fractures were already present. My sentence didn't create dishonesty. It revealed it, and revelation is rarely gentle. Personal reflection. This event demonstrates how social harmony can sometimes mask deeper ethical tensions. The protagonist's refusal to offer a vague apology disrupted a fragile equilibrium built on partial truths. His decision was not aggressive, but firm. He prioritized clarity over comfort. The other couples had already been navigating concealed financial complexities. The dinner merely accelerated inevitable confrontations. The girlfriend's perspective is understandable. She valued relational stability and feared social fallout. From her viewpoint, maintaining peace was responsible behavior. However, peace built on omission often collapses under pressure. Aaron's reaction suggests that suppressed suspicion can become corrosive when left unaddressed. Daniel and Victor's actions reveal how professional ambiguity can spill into personal trust. The resulting separations were not caused by a single sentence. They were triggered by accumulated secrecy. In relationships, the line between discretion and concealment is thin. Choosing transparency can be destabilizing in the short term, yet avoidance can be more destructive long term. The cost of clarity is discomfort, but the cost of concealment is erosion.